with Kip's Corner. Welcome back. And if you're new, welcome. Thank you for joining me. I've been away for a little bit. Lots going on in my life. It's just been crazy. And so I just have not recorded any videos. I've got a lot of remodeling going on. My kitchen is still gutted. Bathroom is still gutted. Plus, there's another area of the house that I'm working on that will ultimately be my new studio space. So, lots of work that I have to do. Plus, work is really crazy busy right now, and I have a new grandson, my second grandson. So yay! He was born the 19th. And so that's exciting news. But just all in all, it's just been a crazy past couple months. And so I apologize for not being here. But I'm back, and I'm going to try to get back into that schedule of posting at least one video a week. If not more, maybe as soon as things quiet down a little bit. Anyway, I am still working on the Musically Inclined journal, and here's what the cover looks like. I've got the signatures just about ready to sew in. I'm going through some of the pages now and doing some finishing touches to them. I like to do a lot of the decoration before I sew in the signatures, just to make sure that nothing's in my way. It's a lot easier to work on the pages if you sort of can pull them apart. And so that's what I'm doing now. I'm almost done with that. But I wanted to show you, and this is going to be a quick video, I did want to show you one of the things I'm doing with some Dollar Tree stickers. These are little puffy stickers from Dollar Tree, and they have a shine on them, and they're, there's a little squishy, and I've been cutting them apart. So there's two different packages, or at least two that I saw: horns and reeds and drums and strings and piano. And so what I'm doing is though these are cute just the way they are, you could use them just the way they are, but they're a little shiny, and nothing in my journal is shiny, and very rarely is it ever shiny. I like matte finishes. And I also have this technique going on where I took the resin pieces and I put black gesso on them, and then I used wax paste to add color to the top of them. And so what I'm doing now is the exact same thing with the Dollar Tree stickers. Here's one where I've got the black gesso already on it, ready to go. And I'll use that one to demonstrate how I do this. It's so simple. Basically, I just take here, I've got 3 of them that are cut out. I'm just going to take some black gesso. It's got a little crud in the lid here. And I'm just going to pop it on my workspace here. And I'm just going to paint it. And I've left these on their plastic. I cut around the plastic just so I have something to hold here. And I'm just going to, and I can be sloppy because I can clean that up later. I can go, over to the edge and just get a nice layer of black gesso on this. So it doesn't have to be perfect. You just want a good coverage. I want to cover up all of the shiny and the color that's already on there. And that's it. That's all I'm going to do. And I'll set that aside. Try not to get black gesso all over me. And these are ready. Once they dry, I'll take the next step. This is the simplest thing in the world. And it's a great way to repurpose. If you don't, if you like, in my case, I love the shapes of these and the texture on these. They're dimensional. And so they have, you can see the keys and the strings and all of that good stuff on the different instruments. And I love that. But the color just wasn't, the shiny color just really wasn't going to work well for my needs for this journal. And so I'm just repurposing them a little. Let's see if I can grab hold of this without getting gesso all over me. Black gesso, I love black gesso. If you're going to work in mixed media at all, you definitely have to have white gesso, but I also recommend getting black gesso, and for that matter, clear gesso too. They all serve a wonderful purpose. Okay, so those need to dry. Meanwhile, I'm going to grab my wax first. Okay, I've got the copper, and this is a Bronze Age, I think, and silver on the front. And so I think what I'll do is perhaps do the Bronze Age on this one. I think it's Bronze Age. I'll find out if I can find it. Here it is. And this is Metallic wax from Finnabair Prima Marketing. This is actually an older one. You can see the label is different. This is a newer one, but now they're putting them all in tubes. So if they're in the tins, they're older, and the tubes all the new ones are in the tubes. So they're in the process of transitioning into the tubes. My understanding is because it gives it a longer shelf life. Not sure about that, but I don't know if they had manufacturing problems with the tins or if these got more expensive. Don't know. But I do know that I really liked the tins. And I just used my finger. And same with the tubes. You could squeeze just a little bit out of the tube on a workspace, or just squeeze a little out on your finger. And very lightly, I just am going to go over this. And as I go over this, it will pick up the dimension that's already on here. Just slightly, just very lightly. And then I can add. It's easier with the waxes to add if you need more coverage as you go than it is to wipe it off if you got too much. But you can wipe it off. It's just easier to add as you go. Okay, I think, and that's it. That's as simple as that. That's all it took. And this is a quick, easy transformation. Get a little bit more up here. And that's it. That's all I'm going to do. Let me get some on the sides. There we go. I'm going to call this done. As soon as I get done playing, I could keep going. But there it is. So now I've taken my black gessos on the bottom, and I've just used the wax to put a nice, really a light layer on the top. And then what I'm doing is I'm using the instruments, a few of them. I'm not going to do, 10 or 20 or anything like that, but I'm using the instruments now on the inside of the book. Let me see if I can find where, in various places. And so they're dimensional, but they're not ridiculously thick, and so they're not going to add too terribly much bulk to your page. And here's one where, let's see, let me get this in there. Sorry, don't mean to make you seasick. This is just a piece of some embroidery from the edge of I believe it was a vintage handkerchief, and just an old button here. And then this is the instrument on this one. And so I've just got that down there on the corner. And this is the first page of one of my signatures. So just a subtle little musical instrument touch there. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into different places throughout the journal and just add a few of these little doodads in various places. Here's a page. This is actually the first page of the first signature. And this is just texture paste that I used copper mica powder to color before I laid it down. And I thought that might work nice just to have a little guy right there, maybe. And so I'm just going to glue them on. I mean, they're stickers. It is sticky on the back, but I don't trust that the sticky, especially since I've been playing with it, the sticky is not sticky enough. And so I'm going to go ahead and add some glue and just get a nice, just make sure it's not going to fall off later down the road. And I think I'll just set this right like that. And just hold it down for a second and it's done. So just a simple, 5-minute little project. You can repurpose things like stickers from the Dollar Tree store, for example. Paint them. It doesn't have to be black gesso or any gesso for that matter. You can paint them with acrylics. You could paint them with, let's see, I don't think watercolors would work very well, but acrylic paint would definitely work. And then, of course, the gesso and wax you can use. It just works for me to use, the Metalique waxes, but they've got some gorgeous wax colors that would also be very pretty on these. So as these dry, I'm going to add some metal wax to them and use them in a couple places throughout my journal. And it's not adding a lot of dimension, a little, but it's not bad. It's pretty minor. I've also got, let's see, somewhere around here, I have a tag here. Here's a tag that I made also, doing the exact same thing. This is one of the stickers that, in this case, I put silver on it. I've got copper in the background, and I've got a little bit of turquoise here that sort of, yeah, kind of giving that patina look. Vintage piece of fabric. This is the corner of, there's a corner of a napkin. These pieces behind the button are from the guts of a book, the spine of a book. A little bit of, this is just from a book on how to play piano, I think it was, and some scrapbook paper back there and some texture paste on the bottom before I started it. So I put the texture paste on, then painted the whole thing black, painted my instrument black, and then did the wax before I put it on here. Added the paper and the pieces here, and then I affixed this instrument on the very top. So there you go. Another use, and then I'll be using them throughout. Simple project. That's it. I'm not going to keep you long today. I'm going to try to ease myself back into the world of recording videos. I do appreciate you hanging in there while I was gone. And if you're watching this video and you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing to my channel as I finish up Musically Inclined. And I have a ton of ideas for some journals after this one that I think will be fun journals too. So thank you for joining me today. Have fun, and I'll be back. Bye.